we're here with Aaron Christie with Indy Roofing Restoration, and we're about to do an office tour. I've already walked through a little bit of this. It's so sick, and I want you to explain how this all came about.
And I'll kind of talk about some of it. Let's get into the meeting room here.
Welcome.
He said welcome. So this is more the production side. So project managers, director of ops, everything is over here. We do have an insurance agent as well that it's a separate business, but you run into a lot of people that are not happy with their insurance and things along the way. So we have an insurance brokerage, supplementing office back here. And then we'll keep rolling through.
Dude, I have so many questions about the insurance thing.
Okay. This is our meeting room. One of the cool things that we like doing here, when we were originally in here, we had kind of like the desks up here and then just kind of lined out like classroom style. And then we went out to visit Ronnie Lawler and Heath Hicks out at Avco.
Yeah.
And they had more like a round table thing, which kept everybody kind of like in discussions and talking as a part of the team as opposed to maybe talking to them.
Yeah.
And so we've done that and we've loved it ever since. Everybody's facing each other, everybody's having a conversation. So when we shifted to this, I felt like it kind of brought people together more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they'll run through here in our training. Just make sure everybody knows all the basics before you get into the sales aspects of things. But pretty cool. They built this when I was out of town for a week. I came back and it was just here. I was like,
wow.
what the heck? So that was pretty cool of them. It was a nice surprise.
All right, before we go any further,
Yeah.
I need you to tell us about this photo.
Which photo is it?
This is sick.
Oh, okay. So Monument Circle. We actually rented out half the circle. You can rent it out full circle, half circle, but we rented it out so we could take photos through here. And we got a lot of different cool photos. So we got the team on there, we got the equipment on there. We had to get like police officers to navigate the traffic on everything. But it was cool because ABC wanted the same thing for their calendar, so we ended up splitting the cost with ABC.
Oh, sick.
And so it really wasn't as like, I think it was maybe $4,500 all in for a half a day, and then they split it with us. But
So
yeah,
did you sneak Indy Roof into the ABC calendar somewhere?
No. They brought all of their trucks in, and so they had like their loaders and everything out there. So
just
they got
put
some
yard
really
sign
cool
in the
photos.
back of
Yeah. Just
drone
slide it in. Although we did pull our ABC rep in and talk him into doing the #1 with our thing too. So, sorry about any of those other guys. It's all right.
No,
We made him do it. But yeah, it's totally cool. We got a bunch of really cool photos. We use them on our website and stuff.
Were you able to put a drone up? Did you get drone photos?
Yeah, we got drone photos. We got like coming in. We filmed like a little commercial that I can't remember the outro or something that they still using some different stuff. But we got a lot of different photos of the team and the equipment out there. It was actually pretty crazy. We were sitting there and it looked like, all these equipments, all this equipment stuff was out there and all the roofing trucks. And Chris Rock went rolling by.
Chris Rock?
Yeah, he was doing the comedian.
Okay.
He was doing like a show or something here, and I heard him talk to somebody. He's like, "Are they tearing down the monument or something like that?" And like I tried to follow him and talk to him, but he kept trucking really fast, dude. But he walked right by when all of this was going on. That is, Tim. That's for what? When you guys close the deal?
What?
The bell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close the deal, take the bell.
That's a deal closer.
Do you have another bell like when you get the final depreciation check?
No,
or like the supplementing check?
Everybody just gets happy because they get paid then.
Hey, there you go. I like it.
So
That's good.
yeah.
Your daily checklist, formula for success.
Yeah, we try to put in things where, you kind of remind them of the different things that you can do to build your brand. We have, our personality traits that we want over here on this wall. We built out our goal sheets when we were in Gatlinburg training this year. Every year we do a Gatlinburg trip. Kind of learned from the Revolt. We copied that style if you ever looked into that.
Yeah.
But we go out there for 3 or 4 days and run through a bunch of stuff, do a bunch of work, but have a bunch of fun too. So it's pretty cool. And then so we have those set up for the year.
I did a little bit of homework. I mean, it looks like you guys, what was it, the kickball tournaments? And I mean, it sounds
You should
like.
ask Adam about that, how he's doing on that.
Is it 3-0?
Yeah.
He said you cheated the first year, though.
He lied. So what happened the first year is we played the full game. We won, and he's like, let's play another one. And I said, cool, but the game's over. Like, we've already won because it was a single match, right? And he's like, oh, yeah, that's fine. And we got up. We started playing again, and we were like the 6th inning instead of 9. Had to go, and I was like, all right, well, it's over. They happened to be winning at that time. But so now he's always like, oh, there's an asterisk. We were winning. I'm like, that game didn't even, like, it was already over. Championship game was over, right? But he's got it skewed in his mind the way that it works.
Shingles do you guys use? I mean, I know you got OC, you got Malarkey,
Yeah.
IKO.
Yeah. So Malarkey's this year been our upgrades for Class 3 and Class 4. And then the OC and the IKOs are the baseline shingles.
Yeah.
And so it's worked really well. I mean, everybody likes the products. We have a lot of support from the vendors. So yeah, it's been a good market for us with those.
Is that, too, is like when it got really hot,
Yeah.
it was softer.
Yeah. So if there is like, I think if it's 90 degrees or above, we don't install because it's going to be your extra 10 to 15 degrees up there and just dragging equipment across them on any polymer modified, right? So it's not Malarkey specific, it's just the rubber base in it. So we just don't install those. Plus it's better for the crews too. Like you don't want anybody having a heat stroke up there.
Wintertime, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like a Flex or what is there? Vista?
Yeah, there's Highlander and Vista, and then they do have like a legacy one, which is more the design one.
Yeah.
Right. And then Flex, but any polymer modified, I mean, you can install. Now there's different specs that you have to do, so we have to come in and train the crews, right? Just as a reminder, even if they were here last year, like, hey, you got to turn the air compressors down and you got to do these different things and how you store them. But yeah, we installed down to 20 degrees with those. Technically, you can go to 0, but we don't, just because again, not good for the crews and everything else. I think most people want the better options. There are a few people that are like, I'm selling the house, I just want to get out of it as cheap as humanly possible type of deal. But I think for the most part, showing them the value of the better things, they want it.
Yeah, so I'm very passionate about that. They said like 33% of homeowners, that price is the main motivating factor.
Yeah.
And if you look across the nations, 1 in 3 home improvement projects has to be redone.
I believe that. That's the exact
math.
the 1 of 3, right? Which makes it more expensive.
Yeah, exactly. So then that's job security for us, but then the other 66% of people is like the rep always whines about it's the price, and it's really not. It's like, show them the value, show them that a $5 pipe boot versus a $100 pipe boot or whatever, like it will save you so much money down the road.
So it's funny, you're right, it's mindset a lot, right? So Adam, at a previous company he worked at, they had half of the people that would want to get a social security number first, and half the people that want to get the down payment first, and they swore that their system was better, right? Like, no, you want to get this social security number first, et cetera, et cetera. So they did this huge study to figure it out. Come to find out, it didn't matter. It was whatever that person thought. And like, so, hey, I don't have $200 in my bank account, so I'm not going to ask this guy, or you know what it is, like, or I have bad credit, so asking for social security numbers makes me have pause. I'd rather ask for the money first.
Yeah.
But it's completely a mindset thing on kind of how you've experienced things. And so sometimes with reps, you go in and they're like, oh yeah, I don't know if I should do this. It's a price thing. We can't put it up here. We can't do this. And I'm like, it's a better product.
Yeah.
You cannot not charge for it or you'll be out of business, right? So
yeah, framing that price and then framing expectations correctly. Like we had reps that came in and sold like remodels and like big stuff.
Yeah.
And then like they come in, yeah, man, it's only $15,000.
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, yeah, I know it's going to be $14,000 and this is a lot. And, they're in a $500,000 house and they're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
or they start saying, oh, this is a lot, and so they start thinking it's a lot too, instead of like, hey, this is the deal and this is the value value behind it.
Right.
So, yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the important part.
No, this is sick. How often do you guys have your sales meetings?
We have a real true sales meeting every Tuesday.
Okay.
So every Tuesday morning, we had it this morning. That's why there's some random food and stuff out here still.
And how long does that go for? Like a 2-hour deal?
Hour to an hour and a half. I think we have an hour and a half blocked off.
Yeah.
Don't always use it all. Sometimes we go a little bit over.
Is it like an agenda thing or mainly like housekeeping?
No, I mean, we go through some of the same things every week. Just kind of like, where people are at, numbers-wise, who's getting, the biggest deal that week, et cetera, some positive things. And then some housekeeping things like, hey, ops is saying this. These are things we can watch out for right now. Just kind of brush up on those. And then sometimes you go into, like, hey, we're going to make shifts in things that we're doing here operationally. So it'll take a little bit more time, right? Because we really have to run through the processes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have our L10, like our managers meeting on Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And like we have Monday sales meetings from 8 till 10. And then the first 15 minutes, like we spent today refining what the first 15 minutes is, because that's where a production manager comes in and talks to the sales team.
Right.
And it's what we decided today was like, hey, at the very beginning of that meeting when he talks, like the agenda for that 15 minutes is right out of the gate, what's the lead time?
Yeah.
It's like roof is this, siding is this is this.
Yep.
And then you get into housekeeping, which is like, hey, your guys aren't turning in A and B elbows and you're turning in sheet and all that stuff. And then it goes into anything else production related. And then the sales manager comes in, teaches a new topic, and then they do role play for the rest.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Do you guys use Chuck Toki's cards?
I have not had, I'm friends with Chuck, and I call him about a lot of stuff. He's actually been in 2 times to work with the team over the years.
Yeah.
But I don't think we have his cards.
Get the cards.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
yeah.
Killer.
Well, you just, like, you get 2 chairs, put them together, and give it a rep, and be like, you're the homeowner, here's the card, here's the objection, deal with it. And then everybody sits there and watches them.
Okay.
And you can tell who has been practicing versus who hasn't, just in a group of your peers, before you go take it out to homeowner.
Yeah.
We're really big on it. Like, dude, you don't practice on homeowners. Like, we practice in here. If you can't do it in here,
And
like Alan
it's going to be harder in here with a group of your peers than it will be with a homeowner, I think, too. So if you can get it really...
I'm not going to smoke today. No, they always find a way. Are you going to let a crackhead hustle you today? I love it.
Adam hates that sign. I love it.
I mean, I like it.
I think it's yeah, I mean, it's a true thing.
So you randomly just bring it up and be like, hey, man, are you letting a crackhead get over you?
Yeah. So this is kind of the sales side. Sales managers are out here.
Who sits in these cubicles?
This one, sales reps use when they just want to have spot. Sales managers over here. Director of marketing here.
Okay. And is that Nick?
Nick.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the one that you guys met. And then Paul, another one of the sales guys, is over here.
Sweet.
This is Nick's, and then this will be the media person that's doing like social media and stuff like that as well. But yeah, I think the rest of them have same size screens where they can come in and plug their laptop into it and kind of run through there. You got AK's office over here.
I like it.
And then we wanted to have something fun where people enjoy being like on downtime. They want to come into work.
Dude, your jumbotron is sick.
Adam's dad built that thing. I bought the TVs. He welded that whole thing. We took it over to the place that wraps. Yeah. We took it over to the place. We primed it with spray paint. Took it to the place that wraps our trucks, and they wrapped it for us. Don't drive naked down here. And so, yeah. Just bought the TVs, and they made it. I'm like, oh, I can't make anything. I can't weld. But it was really cool. So we got this. It's fun. Played probably more ping pong than anything right now. It used to be cool because I sucked at ping pong. And I hate losing. Yeah. But then like somebody forced me to play. Yeah. And so I just sat here, and it wasn't like for a game where I could lose. It was like hit back and forth, so I got a little better.
So now are you pretty good?
I'm decent.
Are we gonna have to challenge each other to a ping pong
we can competition? Do that. We can do. I'm not the best in the office.
He's like, here's my trophies from
I'm not
regionals,
gold medal. But I've got better over the last 6 months. Yeah. So I feel like I'm at least fairly competitive. I can at any point maybe possibly beat everybody in the office, but they beat me a lot too. So just depends on how I'm playing.
This is cool. Yeah. We have a PS5. Yeah. At the marketing office.
Yeah. We just like again.
Is that a Nintendo 64?
That's a 64, man, classic, and a Wii. Yeah. So
that's sweet.
There's a lot of Mario Kart that goes on when people finally turn on the TV over here.
Okay.
Every first Friday is what we call it. So every first Friday of the month, we don't schedule anything past like 2, right? And then so everybody comes to the office, hangs out, have some food typically, plays games. So that's when the Mario Kart busts out. It's first Friday most of the time. And then typically a ping pong tournament and some pool going on.
How many square feet do you have up here? This is a lot.
I think 8 or something like that.
Okay.
The whole building's 27, and so we have the entire top floor, and I believe it's like 8 and change.
Okay.
Yeah. This actually, when we moved in, this was just dead space in here. I think this might be a mess right now, but you guys want some cake for my birthday? Knock yourself out. Yeah, it's a bit messy, but this was dead space. So the closet, this was just like, there was no lights here, and then it was a ramp up to the kitchen, like a wheelchair ramp, and then that was it. So we walled this off and then turned it into a studio for when we film content and different stuff like that. So turned dead space into something very usable, which was cool.
I like your sound dampening and everything. It's very professional.
What was really funny about this is at some point in time, it was shaped to match like the table, and then he put it up backwards. So it was like the flipped opposite of it, and I don't think it's ever been fixed.
Nah, no one's gonna know.
Yeah, it's just funny. It's just funny to point out.
Dude, this is sick.
My buddy made this, man. We went down to, there's a place that sells slabs of wood down here. It used to be like a marsh or something. You just go in there, pick out whatever you want. So we got the dimensions that we wanted size-wise. He polished it all down, then he added the blue in to like some of the cracks just for our colors. And then just got some piping and made legs for it. And yeah, I love this table. It's really cool. But
so are you actively podcasting like every week or month?
no, it's been really busy. So we never had a set schedule because we didn't want to be like, hey, you have to do this if we don't have other things going on, because it's me and Adam doing it. So we've been a little slow on them, but we just try to do stuff when we have good information or want to share something. We actually use it a lot to film content for like drip campaigns and customers too.
Nice.
So yeah, if we want to update our drip campaigns, come in here, shoot the content,
Drip
shoot the
campaigns,
information.
explain that to me.
Like, so you have your tag items, like if it's retail or insurance, and then you have things that are automatically sent out through AccuLinks at like each step of the way, right? So whenever you hit a category or subcategory, if it's insurance, it's going to tell you explain supplementing at one point. And then it's going to go through before the job starts, it's going to tell you what to expect.
Are you sending that through a text or an email?
It goes through both.
Okay, and when it shows up in a text, does it show up as a hyperlink like preview, or is it a link that they have to click on and go to?
So if it's a video, it goes into a hyperlink. If it's just verbiage or copy, it's texted. And
Gotcha.
I think they make a different one for each one. So like the email can be a little more involved than a text, right? But you have that in there. And so every step of the way, at least you can have some sort of touch point from the business, letting them know what to expect.
Sweet. I like it.
Yeah.
We're dealing with that right now as far as like being able to upload the hyperlink where they can click it instead of it just being text where you have to like hold it down, copy it, and then go.
Copy it and
Super
paste
annoying.
it.
Yeah.
What CRM are you guys in?
Job Nimbus.
Is it? Okay. I've only been in AccuLinks since we got one, so it's really the only thing I know.
Yeah.
And it's such a pain to ever move anything. I feel like we're just kind of there now.
AccuLinks hold your data too. Like they
lock it down, so it can never go anywhere, and you're stuck forever. But no, I like the system as a whole. It's expensive.
Yeah.
But I feel like they've added a lot to it that has made it better,
But it
user
works,
friendly.
you know, so it's like, it's not broke.
Yeah, so they finally added like subcategories, and then you can zap some different things in. They got different APIs and stuff. So yeah.
No, man, you got good camera equipment. Is the FX3? Did you have to fork out all the money for all that camera equipment? I'm sure that was fun. I've done that a few times.
I just get the bill. I don't even know what that is. It's an FX3. Is that good?
I only know because of the media stuff, man. I'm like, whoa, yeah, that's a nice camera right there.
And it's just sitting in here. Yeah, but no, this is this is about the end of the office, man. But they've put together pretty good use of everything, and I think everybody enjoys the office, and it's got fun stuff to do. They got places to work. They got meeting space.
Yeah.
So it's come out really well. And
so I'm curious about some different things. Like When people call in, who do they get? Like, where does that phone call get taken?
So currently we have 2 VAs that answer and try to route them appropriately. If it's like a call for service, they'll qualify the lead and then get it to one of the sales reps.
Okay.
If it's like an ops thing, we're like, hey, when's my build? Something like that. They have access. If it's just a when is type of thing, they have access into our CRM and they can look and give them answers. If it's something more detailed than that, then they have to transfer them to somebody in ops.
Is
to
that
answer
like
the
that
question.
first desk when we walked into production? Like, is there somebody sitting there they would forward the call to, or?
No, all the calls go directly into a system which our VAs then answer, and if they somehow missed it, it would then route to one of these phones out here.
Okay.
So we're actually looking at right now, so we use Hatch for our AI texting. They have an AI voice thing too, where they can actually answer the phone through AI, have a conversation, qualify the leads, and route it to other places, and even answer some questions. The only thing that it can't do, which we could circumvent, is it cannot access our scheduler directly.
Interesting.
So it can't go in and technically schedule it. What it can do is say, what days and times would you like? Cool, collect that data, give it to a VA, and then
See if it overlaps or
they
whatever.
can pick one and schedule it, and then the AI texting platform would text them to confirm the appointment based on what they said. So wouldn't be all AI, there'd be some human interaction.
Yeah.
But I think you could take a lot of the stuff off the plate and let people focus on their jobs a little more appropriately if you're not just taking calls all day.
Okay, so when the VA takes a call, do they schedule the appointment for the rep?
Yeah, so all of their stuff's in the calendar.
Okay.
So like they have to keep the calendars up to date. If they have adjuster meetings or appointments they set for themselves, all of their stuff's in there, so they can look and see who's available on the time and date that those people want.
Nice. Okay.
So they just pull it up and they should be able to see it in there. And then,
Once the guys go out there, so they do their sales process and everything, and
Yeah.
let's say they close the deal, how is that, like they killed it and they drag it home, like
Yeah.
how is that prepared for production? Is there a handoff or do they carry it all the way through?
yeah, no. So what we do here is their job is to inspect, get contract signed, pick colors, build base estimate. Then it's handed off to production, goes into the approved file. We have somebody that double checks all of the estimates, like pulls up everything, just make sure that there was nothing overlooked.
So is that a margin check or is that just like,
That's a make sure that part of productions is a margin check on insurance jobs and things.
okay,
But that is more of like, hey, we don't want to show up at the job and be short stuff, or have the wrong stuff on there, or install the wrong skylights, or just any of these things that could go wrong. We try to avoid it by having all of that done up front.
okay. So, see, we're struggling with that right now. We
Yeah.
have like what we call it a sales success or whatever the position is in between sales and production.
Okay.
It's like they make sure all the paperwork is good, and then it goes to the production scheduler, who then like builds the order for, we use SRS, like you throw it in the roof hub thing, and then like it orders, and then they schedule crews and all that.
Yeah.
So is that what do you call that in production? That's that person that puts it together. Like, what's the title for that person?
What is it? I don't know, production coordinator or something. I call him Greg.
Great, man.
Yeah, Greg. But no, what they do is in our CRM, we have it all set to where you can't just put it into approved. Like, so we have a list of things that have to do for it. You have to have either half of the job cost or the ACV money if it's insurance. You have to have signed contract, shingle color contract, like 3 or 4 things. So that gets checked by the ops team before they'll even allow it to get into approved.
Yeah.
Then once it does go into approved, it goes to Greg. And he just double checks like all the estimates, rewrites it if he needs to, and then he builds the material and labor orders. And then the person that was sitting at that very front desk you were talking about over here is the one that deals with all the scheduling. So he'll schedule those.
So Greg gets everything ready.
He's your middle guy that you're talking about.
Awesome.
So it all goes to Greg. He makes sure it's all there. If it's not, he rejects it. If it is all there, they can go through, and then he just builds the material orders, labor orders, and double checks all the estimates and kind of rebuilds them if needed. And then it splits to scheduling, and then a PM once the job's going to come up.
So the scheduler is a different person then?
Yes.
What you're saying. And then their job is basically just to manage material and crews?
Materials, crews, scheduling, but incoming customer calls and questions as well.
Yeah, next year we're going to do it. So, like, our other thing right now is my whole initiative for this year is I got to build this office. Like, we got to get into a bigger space. I've got 33 people stuck in 1,000 square feet. So we took some of them, 4 of them out and put them in a marketing office that's close by.
Yeah.
But everybody's just on top of each other. So we're moving to this new office, and then it's going to open up a lot of different things that we can do.
Growing pains are cool though.
You guys.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, man. I gotta
You
go
too,
back out
buddy.
here and get some stuff done, but yeah, reach out. Give me a shout.
Appreciate you.
Are you guys buying an office or you're gonna lease?
No, I'm building one.
Oh, you're building one. So you bought property and you're building.
Yeah, we had
Oh,
3
that's
acres of commercial, and then I built 8,600 square feet of office and 3,000 square feet of warehouse.
Yeah.
And then I already got the second.
Is that the
building
picture, the warehouse that you sent me of like where the golf simulator stuff's gonna be at? Or was
No, that's at
you
my house.
personally. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I built a 50 by 80 at my house, and
Okay.
this one's going to be 60 by 130.
Okay.
And then it's 2-story.
Yeah, that's actually very close. I originally was going to do the same thing. I have a barn right over here that's similar in size, 2-story, but I couldn't get the permitting switched. And I was like, I'm right in the middle. I'm next to a gas station. Like, I'm in the middle. It was agriculture, but I'm in the middle of like all kinds of commercial and like,
Yeah.
Gas station. I'm touching a gas station and an apartment complex and office space. And 3 of the 5 people in the zoning committee voted no. So I was by 1. But it turned out really well because it's about a 3/4 of a mile that way. And so we just use it to store all of our stuff and all of our equipment and, extra materials.
And in another 5 years, it'll get zoned commercial and be worth bukus more dollars.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's fine for now. But I like that you're doing that because, one, you'll have a good tax write-off for all the stuff that you're building, which is really nice. You get to write all of that
How
stuff
many
off.
LLCs do you have for the commercial stuff? Do you just...
I do a separate one unless I'm partnering with somebody else, and then I'm just getting like a K1 from them and like a partnership that I just put it into one. But if I buy any property, it's new LLC. That's the address is the name of the LLC, so it's easy for me to decipher. Like this is 5240 Elmwood LLC, and
Smart.
and so it's easy to decipher what's what, but it's protected because if you don't do that, I buy this building and then I have another building under the same LLC. Then if somebody trips and sues me over here, I can lose this building.
Right.
And it's not a big deal to start a separate one. It's very minimal on tax stuff. There's not a lot that goes into it. So
Do you have any residential stuff?
I don't, outside of where that barn is that I built, there's a house on it too that was rebuilt. I had a couple houses, and it just seems like it was always a pain in the ass, man. Tenants were always wrecking the place, not paying rent. Commercial has been a lot easier.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I started doing. My brother, who's 15 years older than me, could be 14 if you're watching this, sorry. But he's been in the commercial real estate space forever. So I just started investing with him. He finds good deals, whatever, and we do that. That's kind of a good way to dip your toe in and learn it that way.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot easier.
I mean, that's where I'm at, man. I'm trying to figure out what to do, and it's like, I need somebody to help me learn this game.
Yeah, it's because it's a big deal, man. Like this building we make good money on because we have downstairs tenants and everything like that. Like I think we pull about 80 grand a year out of this building.
Smart.
But the taxes are $43,000. You know, if we lost a tenant or lost 2 tenants, God forbid, not only do you have the mortgage payment,
How many do you
but
have
then you
in
have
here?
there's 3 including us.
Okay.
So 2 on the floor and then we have the upstairs.
You guys pay too?
Yeah,
Into
yeah,
the
yeah.
LLC?
Yeah, because it's Indy Roof Company. It's a totally different business, and so we're paying into that.
Are they
yeah,
all triple net leases? Like they deal with everything, or do you have to take over some of the stuff? I'm assuming.
no. So what we do is we basically deal with like your parking lot cleanup, outside cleanup, stuff like that. But that all goes back into the CAM at the end of the year, right? Anything inside their building, outside of plumbing, I think, and not even this, like the main plumbing lines, is pretty much their responsibility.
Gotcha.
Then the outside maintenance, the cleaning, everything like that goes into the CAM at the end of the year, plus property taxes. We divide it based on the square foot. And then that's what everybody owes. So they're splitting it basically.
So they pay property taxes too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes.
Or do you take it out of their?
No, it goes in the CAM. So basically, they pay their rent all year, and we build in like an estimated CAM, and so they'll pay that, and then at the end of the year, we'll total up what all of the actual bills were, right? What the property tax was, how much snow removal we had to do, how much we had to pay the mowing crew, if we decided to do any maintenance and like paint the building or landscaping, and then we take all of that, figure out what their portion would be based on square foot, subtract what they've already paid in the estimated portion, and then they'll pay the remaining balance then. Or if there was a refund, there would be, but there's typically not.
Gotcha.
Because they estimate those things pretty low. But yeah, like if you lost 2 of the tenants and you had to pay the loan on the place, and then you're missing two-thirds of the people splitting the $43,000 in tax on the property, like that would be painful. And so when people kind of had that 2008 crisis with commercial and residential stuff, like they were eating a lot of money, which I'm sure was not fun.
No, not at all. Like for bigger spaces like this,
Yeah.
it's like, oh.
Yeah, like it could cost you $100,000 a year
Yeah.
if you didn't have it rented out to capacity and done appropriately.
So I don't know if this is a thing that's applicable now, but like when I'm building my office, they're going to do, I think it's called a cost degradation study.
Yeah, cost seg study.
Or yeah, and it like helps depreciate it faster.
Yeah, it's advanced
Can
depreciation.
you all do that?
So you can do
after you
that.
buy a
You can do that
place?
anytime you buy a property or build a property.
Okay.
And I'm not a commercial realtor. This is not advice. This is just what
Right.
I know, minorly. But that's how people make a ton of money on real estate, right? So they buy a place, they do a cost seg study, which, depending on the property, is anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000, right? So you wouldn't really want to do it on residential property because it's not worth it.
Right.
But you buy a big property, so they start depreciating all of the stuff and get all this advanced depreciation. So if you say, buy a $2 million property, right? And you pay $250,000 down on it, right? Well, then you get to automatically take a bunch of depreciation for the next 20 years on that property. You may get a K1 that's $500,000, and you're going to get about a third of that back in taxes. So you're almost getting your down payment back on the property. So you've spent it on a property instead of giving it away to the government.
Right.
Right. So you have to spend the money technically, but you do the cost seg, you get the depreciation, you get it back on taxes, or a portion of it, if
Right.
not all of it. But let's say even if you got $175,000 of it back of the $250, you paid $75,000 for a $2 million building, and then hopefully you got people in there paying
I
the
talked
mortgage
to
payment
another
for you.
girl. She was the general manager of a decent sized roofing company, and that's what they did. They're like, man, the extra money, we just have to keep buying real estate
Yeah.
and just let it sit there.
And you do it every year,
Yeah.
and then you just take that tax money, and then you keep putting it in here. Like, what am I going to owe on taxes?
Yeah.
Like, am I going to owe $500,000 this year? Okay, how can I buy enough real estate that I get a K1 for enough to kind of offset these? So if you spend X number of dollars, then you depreciate it all. Hopefully you can offset your tax. Like, that's the ultimate goal, right? Offset the tax liability pretty much every year by real estate. That's why I always say all the wealthy people buy real estate, because that's all they're doing. They're kicking the can down the road.
So
but it
to
never
be
comes
clear,
to an end.
you get to do this because you're making money.
Yes.
If you're not making money, these are not things that you do.
Right.
You make money.
Correct.
You pay taxes because you make money.
Yeah.
Like, make the money first, and then when you have the tax bill, try and offset some of it.
But there is, like I said, I go in on a lot of this stuff to learn it with my brother, and actually not just him, but another investor here locally too that does some building and buying. But you
So do
can,
they let you like put money in and like explain like, hey, like just try this?
yeah.
and,
so what you'll
like,
do is
kinda help
you'll
you?
get a slide deck that says exactly how you get paid,
Okay.
right? Like, hey, you're going to get a guaranteed, 15% IRR year over year. And normally with these deals, it obviously depends on how they sell it in cap rate. That's the final closeout money. But normally they're about 15% compounding over that amount of time, which is going to be better than.
So can you put that in like layman's terms? $100,000, like when
Right.
15% compounding, like how much time are we talking about? Like 3 years, 5 years?
On 15%, I would guess probably like 4 years. I'd have to do the math, but I'd guess around 4 years to double. So like there are investors that look for families that like say, hey, I'm not ready to buy a $2 million property myself, nor do I want to manage it. I just want to be hands off, but I do have $50,000 that I'm going to owe in taxes, or $75,000 I'm going to owe in taxes, and I have about $100,000 that I could spend on something. Find one of those investors, a good deal, somebody that you trust, throw that money into them, and then you spend 75, and hopefully you get about 40 to 50 off on taxes and don't owe anything. So do you want to give away $50,000 in taxes, right? Or do you want to buy a property that's now making you money and then will come out doubled in 5 or 6 years when they eventually sell it? They'll do some improvements, they'll get it fully leased, they'll get a name, and when the market's right, they'll sell it at a good cap rate, and then everybody makes money. And that's when you get a big chunk of your payout at the end of that. But they'll base it off of that compounding the whole time.
There was a girl that I know, she lived in Nevada. She owned like a tax planning thing, but she had $500,000, and she would invest with a bunch of other people in senior living facilities.
Yeah.
They would build them, and then they would pull the money out and build another one.
Yeah.
But how it happened, she was still making money from this one, and all the people were pulling their money out and putting it in the next one.
I think it's somehow like they build it and then
she explained it, and I was like, it blew my mind. And I'm like,
basically, you just keep transferring it all, then you own a piece. But I was looking at something the other day. It's like the senior living facilities, like there's not near enough.
Yeah.
Like there is not near enough. Like that is a huge market that is available if somebody knows what they're doing. But
I mean, that's
anyway,
the massive amounts of money that you got to put in. That's where it's like, hey, we're going to have a lot of investors that put in 250, or like a bunch of them put in $1 million. It's like, it makes it a lot easier if you can get more investors involved.
Yeah, for sure.
They don't get the payout.
So like my brother likes doing the investment thing as opposed to like just building things or buying things himself, because they could find more deals, they could own more properties, having other people in on this, and managing everything appropriately. But he would rather do it with people as opposed to by himself. It splits up some of the risk. It gives them more properties to leverage, and it gives them more power when they have all of these properties that maybe they could sell together as like a group thing. A lot of different things that they could do. But yeah, that's what he prefers.
Well, hey man, this is cool. What do we got in the fridge?
I don't know. Let's find out. Thank God my daughter just cleaned that fridge out. No. Just Bud Light.
There you go.
That's first Friday beer. And then we had a cookout out here for the last one, which was pretty cool. So.
Yeah, so that's kind of, me and Brayden were talking about it, like when we get this new office, it's going to change our culture so much, because we don't have the space to do like a lot of culture stuff. We were like, we need to buy another grill and just at least do a cookout or something. But like when we got the space, I mean, like,
what's your plan for how long you think it's going to take to build out?
They're saying the last weekend of October, so it started the first week of September.
Okay.
Now it's the last week of October, so hopefully by the middle of December.
Yeah, as things progress. Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. That'd be a good transition time too, when things are a little slower and calmer for you guys.
Yeah, I'm very excited, man. To me, this is like the culmination of my vision. Was like, we have a place to house all of our awesome people.
Yeah.
And then I warned everybody on our management team. I was like, you realize that this is just the new foundation that I can jump off of, right, guys?
Yeah.
Like, we're taking this thing to the moon now.
Yeah.
You know? So I went, when we got the zoning and everything approved, I went ahead, and where our building is, I had them approve another building structure.
Yeah.
Just like a ghost building structure that was the exact same size as that one. So it's 3 acres. Like,
So-
I blacktopped an acre and a half or more of this. Like, there's 60-something parking spaces.
Yeah.
It's massive. Like,
So, and you already have the zoning approval to build something else if you wanted.
Yeah.
Smart. I like that.
so it's just sitting there, and the commercial thing's going to take off. Like what he was talking about is like, I mean, it sounds like you guys are kind of flirting around with it, and it's like, it's making money and it's growing like this, but like, then you could at any time inject people and money into it, and then it would be like,
Yeah.
so that's what I want to get ready
You
for.
really want to figure it out. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, we'll go through, we'll make it profitable. We'll get, all of the kinks worked out, make sure our SOPs are spot on where they need to be. And then when it's time and you feel comfortable,
So mine is, I want two-man service crews on the road. So we have 2 service crews running around taking care of leaks and scope work and all that.
Yeah.
And then I'll have my service manager. He's a commercial production manager, really. Like,
Yeah.
he manages those guys, and then we have a dispatcher.
Yeah.
Because he's the most knowledgeable guy, and I'm like, man, I can't do. Like, he knows so much. He's been in the industry like 30 years.
Yeah.
So he can do hands-on, he can train, he can do all the things, and I'm like, I want to hire a project manager that can manage re-roof projects, but I want him to teach them. So it's like, once you get the scope work and the, let's say T&M work, whatever these guys are doing,
Yeah.
then he can pull away and we can start talking about re-roofs, and he can manage them, and then we can train somebody to manage them. And
makes
that's when we're
sense.
going to just explode.
Yeah. No, I
But
like that.
That's
That
my
makes
comfort
sense.
level. I'm just like,
Yeah.
dude, we got to be able to take care of all the leaks with these customers, so
Yeah.
that they roll us into big projects as we go. Like, you build those long-term relationships.
Yeah, which I think is good. I think that's what a lot of people lead into to build their relationships and stuff. So
Well, most residential guys are like, oh, unicorn, $350,000 project. We
yeah.
have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're going to use the white stuff.
yeah, no, yeah, that's it. Like I said, dude, that's a bad deal because you get a leak in there. There was a guy that did that and had a big leak over like a server room in a really expensive building. Like it's a problem, you know. And those are the things where not only do you not make money on it with all of this headache, you lose a bunch of money.
So my buddy, he used to work for a company that they did stuff with, I think it was AT&T. It was a 25 square roof.
Yeah.
Over top of like their little server farm thing right there. It was
Yeah.
$1 million roof. Like, because they said if this thing goes, if it leaks on anything in here, it's like, I mean, like millions of dollars a second or whatever it is, you know,
Yeah, whatever it is, but
$100,000 every minute. You know?
Yeah, every minute that it's down.
Yeah, it's like this 25 squares, like to take this liability on, I'm sure they had to have like an insurance policy for their insurance policy.
So there was when Adam was at a different company, it's like they were a giant call center, and like if the phone lines ever went down, every minute it was down, they calculated how much it cost them, and then their lawyers would go after AT&T for that.
Wow.
Yeah, so like they don't play around. So
We need
that's
to
why it
figure
was
that
like
out.
that. I know, dude.
Our internet
It's
sucks
like,
sometimes. I'm like,
yeah, I don't need to charge anybody anything. No,
love it.
but this was like a $600 million company.
Oh,
So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when you have that kind of leveraging power, like I'm spending X number of dollars, like this better work flawless.
Oh, yeah.
I took your recommendation. Every minute it's down. Here's my sales numbers. This is what you cost me. So
And they probably signed off on it, but then they build redundancy.
I'm sure they went back and forth and yeah, and settled on something similar. I'm sure they come in top dollar, but I mean, if they have numbers proving what they lost, it should be pretty easy.
Hey guys, we literally just pulled into the office and I wanted to share some perspective about this office tour that we did with Indy Roofing Restoration. So their company is in that $15 to $20 million mark and they are scaling, they're growing. I can really relate to what they're going through because we have very similar challenges at Indy's Roofing currently. And when we come out and do an office tour, it's not just we show everything. What we can't show is where a lot of the value lies. And that's when we went into their office and both of the partners we sat down with and we had compensation conversations, marketing strategy conversations, how to hire, onboard, and train. All of the things I can't necessarily put in like a video to throw out there on YouTube. But anytime you guys invite us out to do an office tour, the real value is behind closed doors where we sit down and we go over the things that really move the needle and share best practices with business owner to business owner. So if you all would like to see more office tours, reach out to us. We would love to come in and shoot content and share how awesome your business is, as well as, share best practices with you and see if we can help in any way possible.